What's your name?
My name is Nico.
Nico.
Yes.
Nico, where are you from?
I'm from Angola, born in Angola, but moved to Germany when I was 2 years old.
So, Nico, what do you have to say when it comes to we Africa that live in Germany? What are the things you think that we are passing through here?
I think most Africans, when we living here, we have definitely some identity problems. That's probably one of the biggest issues because many Africans who comes over here, they're trying to leave their African narrative just like in Africa and just come here to trying to get Europeans, but we will never be the regular Europeans like the Europeans who live here. So that's probably one of the biggest, in my opinion, what I see so far, the biggest issue. Because I know I met a lot of Africans, but if you ask them if they're still going back and forth and doing something in the motherland, most of them are not really doing anything.
For real?
For real, yeah.
Okay, like what you just said now. Do you think that as an African man that have a European passport or rather German passport, there will be never a time you'll be a European?
No, never. Like for example, me, I have both citizens, so I'm Angolan and German.
Okay.
And no matter where I'm going, even I speak the language pretty good, and I'm really like you can call me also as a German, the way I speak the German language, but the Germans will never see me as 100% German because of course my skin color and everything. Okay. And this is something you have to know because for me it's just a matter of time. I'm using their skills and everything I'm learning here, but I will try to get everything I can to bring back to my motherland just to build something there up because that's pretty much I think the only reason why we Africans are supposed to come here, because most of the Africans who live here, who comes here for a better life, they just forget the narrative of the regions where they're from. So, and this makes it a little bit harder for them. So the identity problems we work on. So that's what I see in the times I'm living here now and messing around with a lot of Africans.
Do you think that as an African man that have European passport, do you think that will be never a time that they will be like European?
Oh no, I don't think so. Never. It's just not possible because end of the day, they're still gonna look at our skin color, no matter how good your language is now and the barrier is here in Europe. But there will never be a time that someone gonna call you like a really original European because you're not.
Okay,
so there's something you have to admit. So no matter how much you're gonna integrate here to do some stuff, but you will always be the African. Yeah.
Okay, but there's a lot of people when they have European passport, they will say that they want to stay here, they will not go back to Africa. What do you have to say about that?
It's kind of sad for me. I mean, I can, like, for example, most of the Angolans say, okay, I'm a German because I never really grew up in Angola. I never met the childhood stuff like this, but I'm going back and forth to the motherland since then, and I'm just see the opportunity we have in Africa. It's not just Angola, it's different countries. So, and if you live here and you have the opportunity to work here, to make the school, and you go back to the motherland to do something, it's the biggest advantage you can do because that's what I just see by myself, and that's something what I subject and like tell all the other Africans who have the opportunity to go back just to go there and just to see the country and to see the opportunities. And that's the biggest issue because to stay here and don't do nothing at our motherland, one day it will hit you because as soon as you come here and you go retirement age, you're gonna have some big problems because you're not owning a house, you're not having anything here, and then what do you want to do with the money? You can do anything, but we can do with the money a lot of things when you create some houses, you do some business-wise something, and you just go back there and have the best life you can have. So yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you this question. What do you have to say about this our Africa hero, Trorin?
Exactly. So it's like this because he's the first, in my opinion, he is the first young African president to be signed, one of the first young African presidents who is turning. He's like he's doing it for his own people, and that's already the first. How you say it for the Europeans right now. It scares them at the most because he's the first president who takes care about his own people. Because all the other presidents we have, even in our country, in all the other countries, they are, they're making cooperation with the Europeans and doing more or less stuff what Europeans want to have to see from them. And he is turning it down, and it works out pretty well for their own country, and that scares them now. And that's why I'm a huge fan of him, to be honest, just to see him from here sitting in Germany. And I really wish that maybe other countries can do the same and just learning from him because we all have to all the countries, we have the goods, we have gold, we have mines, we have everything, and now using it and investing in your own country, that's what he's doing. And you see it's the development, streets are getting built and stuff like this, and that scares the Europeans a lot because they know if one day the Africans don't need them no more, it's going to be really hard time for the Europeans here.
Okay, do you think that when Denmark continue things like this, European, they will have anything? Do you think that they have something fishy they are trying to do like the way they did to Gaddafi?
I mean, yeah, you have to think about it. I think this is also something that could happen. But I think right now Burkina Faso has Mali and has Niger and on their side because they created their own ecosystem. Yeah. So if it's gonna work out, I hope that some other countries gonna come together. And if this happens, it's gonna be hard for the Europeans to do something like they did to Gaddafi because now it's too many countries involved who are sticking together. And I really hope that that's going to happen because he's doing good things for the country. So to be honest, because Gaddafi was kind of a little different, but this one is something you just really can say bad about that because he's helping their own people. What do you want to do as a European? What do you want to say? Because he's not doing anything wrong. He's just saying like, hey, we have the goods, we have everything in this country. I just going to use it and develop our own country. And that's going to be hard for them to do something. Yeah. So,
but if Africans should unite with this man and stand the way this man stand, don't you think that Europe will go back from Africa? That is, they will fold their hand from Africa?
Yeah, they will leave Africa. So if that's the question, you mean if they're gonna, of course, because right now, I mean, they put out the language, the native language so far in these three countries was French. They put it out on the system. So in the school, they're learning their own mother language. And French is like now the second language, which is pretty nice. Because if you see in all the colonizing and countries we have right now, it's still the main language, the language from the colonizer. Which is my opinion, even the country where I'm from Angola, we still speak Portuguese as the first language. To be honest, it's for me something which never should happen. And especially now they have the independence and everything, they could change it easily, but they're still not doing it. So yeah, it's going to be a huge problem for the Europeans.
Okay, tell me, what is Europeans' fear towards Africa and America? What do you think that they are afraid of?
They're afraid of because the knowledge. The thing is, in the past, the Europeans never gave the Africans the knowledge to to develop themselves. That's probably the biggest issue we had in the past when the colonizer was there, because the colonizer came and did their thing and everything, but they never teach them. So now we are starting to get the knowledge to learn things, how to do, and also using our own resources now to develop the things. And that's the biggest fear they're gonna have now. And they started doing it now with Traoré, because he started doing it in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. They're all doing together. Even Senegal is coming strong now with the new president. They had the new president, I think 1 or 2 years ago, the young one too, who has the 2 wives. Exactly. So it's the biggest fear. They are scared that we are gonna start get the knowledge now about our own resources and just start building by ourselves and create our own ecosystem without a need of a European.